Hi Leo, welcome to your October monthly reading. Let's see what's coming up for you this month. I'll start out with some oracle cards and then I'll do some tarot. I'll check out to see what main energies are more prominent for you this month using these astrology cards and some tarot. So let's see, what do we have for Leo? Messages for Leo, please. We have the ninth house, faith, and the sixth house, routine. Sorry, it's just when I looked at these cards, I thought, oh, that's an interesting combination. Because one house is about um, the prospects for the future that we have, the vision we have for the future, and then comes in the sixth house, which says, um, I lost my train of thought. What was the sixth house again? Oh yeah, first you need to deal with this unpleasant stuff. It's like you've got two houses here, two areas of life that are prominent for you this month that have to do with, this direction in life, this vision or this dream you have of how your life should be like. And then we have the sixth house, which is how your life is really like. And usually the sixth house is not like a very pleasant place. It's not negative. It's where we deal with the daily grind, is where we have to do all of these repetition type of tasks and routines and just stuff that don't seem like they have anything to do with this bigger vision that we have about ourselves. But these two actually do connect, because eventually you will have to do the work to get to the vision you have. So they are connected very strongly. So yeah, they're connected, but at a conflict, because these are two conflicting places in your chart. Usually the sixth house is Virgo association, and the ninth house is Sagittarius, and these are in a relational square to each other. They seem to have nothing in common, but one does lead to the other if you do the small work and the small thing. So yeah, there's some tension here going on for you this month in these two areas of life that have to do with goals and orientation and vision and the work that you may need to put into that. I actually read an interesting article about the sixth house recently, um, that actually had a different view of the sixth house, which I thought it was a little bit more interesting. It replaces the word routine with rituals. And it's interesting because the ninth house is also a house where we have rituals, as in like the rituals you have in church and things like that. Or, if you're of a different denomination, you're pagan or some other religion, you go to the temple. That's where you do the ritual thing to honor the gods. And it's interesting, in that article I read about it, it said the same thing, that you need to honor the gods with your everyday activity. So it's a kind of an interesting link here. What is it that you can do every day that may seem like a menial task to you, that is like, I don't know, like oppressing you with details and you have to take care of so many things or feeling so overwhelmed. It's like you may need to find some way to um, think of it as honoring yourself or honoring something that you're doing. You know, if you're cooking, you can honor, you know, you can give things to the gods that gave you the food, or be, you know, be very what's it called, grateful for it, or you know, just yeah, the idea of gratefulness is also tied up into the ninth house. So a way to get out of that weird routine and that boredom is to kind of make it a little bit more sacred. You know, I hope that makes sense. So yeah, two very different places in your life that are kind of colliding this month. So let's see what the tarot has. Okay, what do we have for Leo? Well, what are the messages for Leo for the month of October? It's interesting. I saw this Eight of Swords a few times as I was shuffling. It kept turning around. So there's a very strong message here for you that you need to hear about it. It's interesting you have a Virgo association here again with the sixth house. Anyway, the bottom of the deck, you've got the Lovers and Six of Pentacles. So strange. I'm not picking up anything off of this Lovers card. It seems a bit... For some of you, what you don't see coming is some sort of a partnership here, but it seems more of a like a business type of thing where, you know, you may receive some help here with your tasks. It's like, you know, kind of choosing one thing over another, the kind of thing. It's like there's a weird oscillation here between, um, could be an oscillation between you and another, kind of like delegating tasks or something like that, kind of, you know, not going at it alone. But it's interesting that you have a very solitary type of energy here, both in the Hermit and the Eight of Pentacles. So for some of you, you know, you may have a partner, but it seems like you're doing all the work or something like that. So I don't know. The Lovers could also indicate you being passionate about something, you know, and the Eight of Pentacles is someone that has dedication for their passion. So, you know, we could look at it in that way. You are in a very solitary place, Leo, which is a very unusual place to be for a Leo. At least not for most Leos. Um, I'm not going to lie to you, this is quite a heavy month. I mean, not heavy like in a very negative way. I hope not, you know, we'll see. I'm going to clarify, but it doesn't seem like heavy in some way. But you do seem to be a little bit oppressed by just having lots to do. You almost feel like, yeah, oppressed, confined in some way by just the daily stuff that you have to do. But there's also this energy here with the Hermit where um, I'm kind of seeing you trying to take some time for yourself out of all of this. I feel like you're still trying to remain clear and practical with the way you're doing things. Because I feel like that something does have to change here in the way you do your routine, because it's quite oppressive. I'm kind of getting that impression. Some of you might feel tied up to a situation here where you're overworked and underpaid. The very old saying, that could be for some of you. Your work is creating a lot of that stuckness. It's like you feel like you can't go anywhere, you have no upward mobility, that sort of thing. Because the ninth house is here, I feel like you have some aspirations here. It's a house of aspirations. But this sixth house and this routine and these tasks and this work that you have to do, it's a bit oppressive. For some of you, this hermit card could be, kind of an indication from the universe that you may need to take a lot of time to yourself. You may feel quite overwhelmed with the amount of stuff you have to do, because um, there's a practical energy here in the Eight of Pentacles, but with the Eight of Swords, it's like you're mentally kind of all tied up in knots about all these things you have to do. So you may need to take some time to clear that out. So yeah, your aspiration and what you do with work currently, they're definitely at a conflict here. So let me see. Tell me about Hermit for Leo. For some, for some of you, there's a path here that you have to walk on your own. Do things your own way. Get out of a certain box, like of doing things. Getting some enlightenment when it comes to your work situation. Tell me about Hermit. We have the Two of Cups and the Emperor. Okay. We did have the Lovers at the bottom of the deck, so it could be for some of you there is a partnership here, but I don't know, the Hermit card in a reading, this is a single person. This is someone that is on their own, and for some of you quite uninterested in relationships. Um, for some of you, you may have this desire, or you may have someone to share your burdens with here with the Two of Cups, because the Two of Cups does talk about sharing. It's like the most basic relational card in the deck. You just kind of meet someone that is relatively at your level, and you can share things with them. They may be something that you want or desire or perhaps aspire to. This Emperor card here is quite stubborn. I feel like you probably challenge yourself to stick to something, is what I'm hearing. It's like you're almost challenging yourself to stick to something you started, to see it through, even though it's causing you a lot of um, maybe overwork for some of you, an inability to move out, or move up in some way with this Emperor. It's like you want to be in charge of your situation, but it's interesting that you want to be in charge, but yet you've got this Eight of Swords here, which is a very helpless energy. So I'm kind of weirded out by this dichotomy here, you being in charge and doing things your own way and feeling quite helpless, quite at the mercy of something, the Eight of Swords. So some of you, there might be stuff going on in your life at this point that is not something you can be in control of. for example, how other people respond to you or how they meet you in the middle here. So it's a very interesting reading. Although this emperor could be someone else in your life, it's not necessarily you. Um, this Two of Cups here could represent someone else that you're trying to share with, but it's interesting, the Emperor doesn't share anything with anyone. He's the Emperor, he sits on his throne and it's usually above everybody else. So if this is another person you're dealing with, yeah, you're going to have a hard time sharing with the Emperor because he's always going to feel like he's above you in some way. Tell me about the Eight of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles, and there's that Lover's card again. Yeah, I feel like you are working on your stability, on your wealth here. Do you have like people showing up in your reading now? You've got Two of Cups, the Lovers, King of Pentacles, the Emperor. Could be an Aries you're dealing with. Could also be a Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo if this is some sort of partnership. Um, but if it's not, I feel like this is you just trying to work on, building yourself up here. Because the Eight of Pentacles eventually leads to the King of Pentacles. You start to, kind of hone in your craft and becoming more and more confident and, creating abundance. For some of you, your work will have to be shared with someone else. Again, this is what I saw at the bottom of the deck, that you may need to share your burdens a little bit. But it could be that you have someone in your life that is not sharing the burdens with you. It's someone that always feels like they're better than you or they're above you in some way. And it's almost like you're trying to catch up to this person in some way, to be, to be worthy of, you know, their their affluence in your life. Now, these could be bosses, if this is a work situation. The Emperor and the King of Pentacles do represent bosses. Um, you may try to impress your boss, by being so hardworking and all of that, but it does seem to like keep you stuck in some way. You're trying to prove yourself. You're trying to create this sort of, the meeting of two energies, like kind of being in the same mindset with someone else, like recognizing your talents, recognizing your abilities. For some of you, this is a relationship that's showing up, although you've got two different people here. So I don't know if it's, again, if it's a relationship with somebody much older than you or someone that you look up to, someone you're trying to partner up with, whether this is business related or something else. Tell me about this Eight of Swords. What is the Eight of Swords for Leo? We got the Ten of Swords. Yikes. What else? And the Hanged Man. I feel like you are stuck in a situation that needs to end, Leo. And for some of you, this is job related because there's obviously an end here. But, with the Eight of Swords, I feel like it's like you're not taking that step to change your situation, your circumstances. Also, Ten of Swords is defeat, feeling defeated. I don't know if you're trying to impress someone here, and that's where the defeating comes in. This Hanged Man, with these two cards that came with it, This is someone that is stuck in a very difficult situation, and there's no change here. Although the Ten of Swords could indicate an ending, with the Hanged Man, that ending doesn't come. It's yeah, it's a stuck feeling. I mean, your other cards are quite positive. I feel like you're a very hard worker. I feel like you try really hard um, to kind of take charge of the situation, but it's just there's something there that feels like you're at the mercy of something here. Could be that you're at the mercy of someone else, or somebody else is making the decisions for you, whatever it is. I want to see, why is Leo feeling like this? Why is Leo in this situation? You've got the Ten of Wands. Wow, okay. It does seem to point out towards overwork in a way that, you're so burdened by everything you're doing. It's like you lost sight of who you really are, what your true nature is here with the ninth house, where your true goals are. What's the advice for Leo in this situation? What's the advice, please? The Chariot. Yeah, it's telling you to move forward here, to not remain in this stagnant situation, whatever this is. The Chariot indicates movement. You have two eights here plus the Chariot, so there's a lot of momentum here that you need to be building in October. On the one hand, maybe your work is actually improving, but there's something associated with that is not going anywhere. There's like a specific aspect of your work that is quite stagnant, and you may feel very defeated, or it's just putting too much pressure on you with the Ten of Wands and the Ten of Swords. This is a lot of pressure. It's a lot of you know yeah, I feel like there's an aspect of it that it needs to end. I feel like that's about it. Leo, that was your reading. An interesting month. We've got like a mixed bag here of some good stuff happening, but also there's like a side of it that is, needs resolve there. You need to move, you need to create motion there to not remain stuck. I'm not sure what this is. I mean, it could be something separate from your work situation or partnership or whatever. It could be something completely unrelated, but it does sort of kind of imply a work situation here for you because of all the cards you've got going on. The the Eight of Pentacles and the Sixth House is kind of basically the same energy. So this seems to show up quite prominently here for you. So I feel like there's some good news for you this month mixed in with some bad news. Well, not bad news. I feel like this Eight of Swords situation is more of a long-term thing for you. So I wish you the best, Leo, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye.